Here's a look at how the vote broke down. In the county, about 39% of the votes were in favor of the measure, but an overwhelming 61% voted no. In Northport, 56% voted yes, while 44% voted no.
Since Tuscaloosa County said no to the vote on Sunday alcohol sales, many people are wondering if businesses will be annexed into the city of Tuscaloosa or Northport. Business owners have expressed some concerns about being able to keep up with their competitors who can sell alcohol since the city of Tuscaloosa passed Sunday sales. And now, of course, Northport will also be able to serve alcohol on Sundays. Tuscaloosa County Probate Judge Hardy McCollum says he believes some business owners in the county will pursue annexing into the city.
I see that now with this passage in Northport, I would think that there will be further annexation requests by businesses, not only to the city of Tuscaloosa, but also to the city of Northport.
It means that we'll, lose business, obviously, to the city, because, people that normally would buy from us on the weekend can now go into the city and buy beer there. So that's why I would like to, try to get some of my businesses that are close to the city limits, possibly annexed into the city limits.
To see the full breakdown of how all Tuscaloosa County and Northport polling locations voted, visit our website and click on Sunday alcohol sales under the local news tab. The city of Tuscaloosa is gearing up to welcome thousands of football fans for Bama's home opener against Kent State.
And they're all going to be looking for some place to park, but April's storms have destroyed many signs that used to designate some lots as no parking areas. WVUA reporter Travis Leader shows you how that could turn into some problems.
Tuscaloosa Police has a message for businesses with no signs after the April 27th tornado.
Any business that has a parking lot or apartment complex that's a multifamily dwelling, they have to have a sign posted for at least 24 hours before they can tow on their property on game days.
Blankley says there's certain guidelines as to which signs can be enforced.
The city does have requirements on what needs to be on the sign. It needs to be stated tow away zone in 4-inch letters. That gives people that park there no doubt that they cannot park in that area.
Tow truck companies understand the new sign regulations, but they feel there will still be plenty of confusion come September 3rd.
If you own the property, and you call me and say, I've got 5 cars on my property, I need it moved, I can't move them, not legally. I will get in trouble. They will write me a citation for moving them cars off somebody's property because you ain't got a sign.
Businesses need signs to have cars towed away, but what if there's an unwanted car on your driveway?
We've had lots of questions come in saying somebody's parked in my yard. Can I tow it? Yes. The signs only apply to businesses, parking lots, and apartment complexes.
Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Travis Leader, WVUA News.
In addition to sign regulations, other parking laws will still be enforced by Tuscaloosa Police on UA game days. You will still not be able to park in places where your car will block a sidewalk, driveway, or a narrow street.
With just a week left until Alabama's new immigration law takes effect, there's a new battle over the controversial law. A hearing was held in Birmingham on lawsuits by the Obama administration and others trying to block the law. An attorney for the U.S. Justice Department said the federal government is obligated to regulate immigration and states should not adopt their own laws on illegal immigration. Attorneys for the other side will also speak before the judge. That new law takes effect September 1st.
WVUA is covering Greene County, where Green Track is fighting a $75 million tax bill from the state. Circuit Judge Eddie Hardaway has scheduled a status conference with attorneys for Thursday. Alabama's Revenue Department is trying to collect more than $61 million in taxes and more than $13 million in interest for sales tax. State officials say the taxes were not paid on electronic bingo proceeds from 2004 through 2008. Green Track's accountant says the bill exceeds their assets, which they say are only about 1/5 of the tax bill. As Hurricane Irene continues to barrel toward the United States, residents along the East Coast are taking some precautions. So far, Irene is being blamed for one death in Puerto Rico. The storm created widespread damage on the island, downing trees and flooding streets.
leaving about 600,000 people without power. Look at that. Irene strengthened to a major Category 3 storm over the Bahamas this morning, and Irene is expected to turn toward the north and begin crawling up the east coast in the coming days. The White House officials now say FEMA is already in place.
I can tell you that there are a couple of things that FEMA has already done. They have pre-deployed incident response teams to both Virginia and North Carolina. And they actually have some stores of commodities in Atlanta, bottled water, food rations, and those kinds of things. So they are looking at the very detailed logistical effort to ensure that we're going to have the proper resources pre-deployed here.
Forecasters say Hurricane Irene could make landfall anywhere from South Carolina to Massachusetts over the weekend. Even if it stays offshore, they warn it could cause some flooding, power outages, and other problems.
People across the eastern U.S. are still shaken up after yesterday's 5.8 earthquake. No extensive damage was reported, but several structures are showing some cracks. The quake was centered in Virginia and felt from northern New England all the way down to Georgia. The governor of North Carolina says she's working to determine what damage was done in her state.
We have decided this morning to do a very cursory examination of state buildings across the state in any of the areas that may have been impacted by the earthquake for any kind of structural damage. We think that's a good safety precaution to take.
No major injuries were reported. Tourist attractions like the Washington Monument and the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. are closed today as crews work on repairing the damage.